Hey everybody, my name is Jordan. I live and work in Courtenay, BC. I moved here about 3 years ago with the intention of being closer to nature and healing my body. Like many people who live in this community, I care deeply about nature, my health, the health of the collective community. So today I'd like to talk to you about something and it's called 5G. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not against technology, and I'm certainly not a 5G expert, but I do believe that this technology should be serving our community, not threatening it. So let's take a look at, for example, at this cell tower here. This little device that I've got in my hand here, this one, it measures radio frequency in something called microwatts per square meter. Now, what does that actually mean? Well, forgive me, I'm not a 5G expert, so I'm gonna have to read this bit off to you. So imagine the air around you is like a swimming pool. Normally a pool is calm and quiet, it's just water. But when someone turns on a radio, cell tower, Wi-Fi, it's like tiny drops of invisible energy into the pool, and it creates little waves. These invisible waves are called radio waves, or RF radiation. The RF meter counts how many of those tiny splashes are hitting one square of the pool, like one tile, every second. And that's why it's called microwatts per square meter. So let's pretend 1 microwatt per square meter equals 1 invisible raindrop on your skin. 10,000 microwatts per square meter equals a whole shower of invisible rain. So let's turn this back on again. Okay, so 65,000 microwatts per square meter. So remember that invisible rain? I'm getting showered in it right now. Now, why is this a problem? This is a problem because it affects the biology of your body, like is talked about in this study, for example, and how it affects the expression of genes. Now, I'm currently standing, here, and what am I feeling? Like maybe a subtle buzzing in my body, maybe a bit of pressure in my ears. Many people feel nothing. Lots of people who sleep nearby or in close proximity to these things feel insomnia, tingling in their body. There's a huge range across the board. But these numbers here, are far above what's considered safe by many independent scientists and building biology experts. And just because you're not feeling it doesn't mean it's not affecting you. The long-term impacts from radiation are long-term. They take time for the body to develop problems with them. So that's something also to keep in mind. I believe we should be thoughtful about this technology before we deploy it. And let's go over to nature and show you the complete opposite now. See you there. So here we are in nature. This is kind of the opposite scenario. Now, I'm going to let you see this little RF device, which you now know. See the low numbers, see the flashing green light, hear the lack of noise coming off the meter. This is what nature designed us to interact with. Very low, subtle drops of energy or waves into that pool. Seems really nice, right? Now, you might be asking, doesn't the government set limits on this stuff? Don't they regulate it? Well, the government actually does have something to say on this matter. So, Safety Code 6. This is Health Canada's discussion and regulation around these types of measurements. So, and I quote, in 2011, the International Agency for Research on Cancer, which is part of the World Health Organization, classified radiofrequency EMFs as possibly carcinogenic to humans, Group 2B. This decision was based on limited evidence showing an increased risk for glioma, a malignant type of brain cancer associated with wireless phone use. So right there in the government's own report, they associate, some degree at least, how brain cancer and wireless phone use, RF waves, are linked. So now, interestingly, in 2011, that was sort of like mid 4G rollout. We're already in the thick of it by that point in time. Now, 2011 to 2025, do you think the technology might have changed a little bit since then? I think it probably has. Then it goes on to say, we agree with the World Health Organization that additional research in this area is warranted. I agree too. I think it's warranted big time. And I'd be very surprised if you find Telus or Health Canada leading the charge in that research. So let's employ the precautionary principle. Let's be smart and actually figure out if this technology is safe before we go about to spread it everywhere. Let's go to Piercy Road, where that potential installment is, and talk about this in a little more detail. I'll see you there. So here we are at Piercy Avenue and Cumberland Road, practically speaking, for geographical purposes. Do you think the residents of this area know that soon, possibly soon, a 46-meter tall cell tower will be broadcasting high-frequency RF into their bedrooms? I doubt it. They should know. You know, at one point in not too recent history, it was commonplace to smoke on airplanes. It was commonplace to use asbestos for insulation. And then with a lot of hardship and a lot of suffering, we realized those things were actually really bad ideas. So maybe we should be smart and employ the precautionary principle on this one. We should understand this technology before we deploy it. There are other municipalities in Canada that are actually taking action on this, and France and Italy are actually leading the charge on this one. I believe that we should join them. So Mayor Bob Wells and Courtenay Council, I respectfully ask, pause, review some science. Review science that has not been influenced by industry, like this study, or this one, or this one, maybe. If this is an issue that you feel is important to you, and you want to come out and talk to the Courtenay Council about this, council meetings happen on Wednesday afternoons at 4 p.m. Not every Wednesday. You got to check the Courtenay website as to when they're going to actually happen. And if you want to say something to the Courtenay Council, then you have to submit your proposal about 6 days in advance online. I will definitely be there, and I hope to see you there. Come on, Courtenay, we can do this.